happened?
Before you first dated, before your first I love you, before your first heartbreak, you was watching. Oh yeah. You was watching your parents, how they talk to each other, how they argue, or maybe they didn't argue. You were watching who apologizes, who stayed quiet, who left, who stayed, and who probably shouldn't have. So tonight we ask, are you loving people or are you replaying a pattern you learned way before you understood it? Because some of us never learned love. We learned survival.
Land your plane, land your plane, land your plane, land your
Welcome. Thank you for boarding with Land Your Plane podcast. I am your pilot, excuse me, instructor, Della Nooch, alongside with my co-pilots. Introduce yourself.
Good evening, everyone. This is Venus Noir, yours truly, the spiritual teacher and wisdom keeper. Give thanks, and that's where I draw my experiences from.
Yeah, man, it's your boy Money Bags Extraordinaire. Put the money in the bag
Money in the
so
bag, so
extraordinaire,
extraordinary.
aka Gemini, aka Let's Get It.
And, Bugsy Bogart, aka Bugsy Bones, aka BU, aka why he talk like that, because I got it on me.
I'm 34 and a
Because I
half.
got it on me.
I'm 34 and a half. I'm your favorite cousin from Montreal you ain't even know you had. And I got my passport stamp. I'm happy to be on land your plane. Let's get it.
DeVille,
Hey man, what's going on with everybody? How everybody doing, man?
Hold up,
Hold
the
on, we
bill
Southside.
got,
was about to,
hold
the
on, we
bill,
got
the
one more
bill.
person, one more co-pilot.
I so apologize.
DeVille is in the building. 79, Southside. Let's go.
Southside.
Now how's everybody doing? How was their day?
How you feeling? How you living?
It's a beautiful day.
Beautiful day.
Sun was shining,
Beautiful
so I
weather.
was grinding. You know the vibes.
There we go.
Definitely had a
Respectfully.
nice. We got some nice weather out here in Kentucky. I can't even lie. The weather is a blessing. I love the transformation. It's only April and it's already feeling nice out there. So
Already, we've been feeling it. We were feeling that shit in fucking
Nobody
February.
asked you.
I'm just letting you know.
we, li- we lived in North Carolina for 14 years. We know what it's doing out there.
That shit bipolar like a motherfucker.
yeah, that's true. That is what it do. It do that
That's
here
some of
too.
that coldness rubbing off on you, right?
A little bit. I'm
Dig it.
good though. Life is
Respectful,
beautiful.
respectful. I'm glad everybody's here. We in the building. About to hop on this flight. Let's give them what they came for. Learning love from watching centers the idea that love is not a biological but a social and intellectual practice acquired through observation and participation. The act of loving enters an observer's mind, creating a mental union that precedes emotional attachment. We watch movies, TV, and family dynamics. Romance is a structure we learn to play out based on social cues. By watching others, we are essentially looking for reflection of that original nature, which we lost when the God split humans into two. Finding love is the act of being restored to wholeness. What is your thoughts? Or what comes to
I
mind?
agree.
hmm
I agree with everything that was said. Because I'm somebody who wasn't taught how to love. Reality. I learned it along the way. At first, I treated people how they want to be treated, and then I treated people how they treated me. And then at one age, I felt a healthy balance within the two. So I agree. It's a learned behavior. It's not something that we come out the womb with. It's a learned behavior.
I think for
Exactly.
me, it's the opposite. I came out the womb loving and I learned how to unlove.
Facts.
That's my reality. I felt joy just being in the midst of people, like when I learned who my family was, I was so excited to be in the midst of these people and knowing that these people were my family. And I felt this joy and excitement. And it wasn't until I began to experience pain and disappointment, um, is when I began to learn to unlove or be more guarded, should I say.
Can I ask you something right quick?
Hmm.
All seriousness, because I really need to know. Because I've never felt that before. How does it feel to actually get excited and feel a deep love when you see your family members? I just wanted to know how that feels.
It's like the Christian Bible says, it's an inexpressible joy.
To see your family
And
members.
yes, especially as a child. As a child.
Yeah.
Since I've experienced a lot of heartache. But, I've often in prayer, meditation, and contemplation, have asked the divine being, God, whatever, I called it, I addressed the higher power as God growing up. So I asked God, was I given this heart? Because as much as it loves, the heart loves, it just loves. I can't stop it from loving. It just loves. And but it also comes with great pain, to
Mhm.
love this hard and love this deep, and be it can come with great pain, and especially when you're young and you don't understand, but now that I'm an adult, I know how to protect myself.
Mhm. I dig it.
Smooth, smooth.
When I see my family members, it disgusts me to my stomach, to my core. Yeah.
Yeah,
Not all of
yeah.
them. It's just one particular one that just aggravates the hell out of me every time I see his face. And then people say we look alike, and that makes me even hate myself even more. I look in the mirror and I just wish I could bring a blade to my face and cut it off, like Nicolas Cage did in that movie. So,
Yeah, I mean this was
What
childhood. This was
can I
early, early childhood.
not to cut you off, not to cut you off, Venus, salute to you. What movie did Nicolas Cage cut his own face off?
I think it was called Face Off.
He
Face
in
off.
that he cut his face off in that movie, or he had a person cut his face off.
No, he didn't. He didn't cut his face off.
this is
It
exactly
was a
what I'm talking
procedure.
about, Venus. See,
It was a
your
procedure.
family probably does do this, try to make you look like an imbecile or an idiot every chance that they can get, and
No, I
try
just
to
wanted to
belittle
know.
you. I'm talking to Miss Venus. Her family doesn't do that, and that's why she senses a joy and enlightenment and get excited when she sees them, because they don't make her feel stupid and dumb like somebody else's family would do to them. So, but now I
Now,
feel what you're saying, V.
it was a
Or
childhood thing. I say between the ages of about 1 to 6, around, then around 6 years old, you start identifying and seeing people. Because when you're a kid, everybody's on their best behavior, especially at the time when I was growing up.
You knew
You
kids that
know,
was on their best behavior. That's a
no,
blessing.
adults were on their best behavior.
Oh yeah.
oh,
Because
I wasn't
adult,
allowed to be around adults.
yeah, they, when I was growing up, adults they didn't drink in front of kids, they didn't smoke in front of kids. They may have drank beer and wine in front of kids, but it was like they would have a whole separate area where they would do adult stuff. And then when they were around kids, they didn't curse in front of kids. And so that's kind of semi some of the environment. Then you get around 6 years old and you start, mom and dad, you see mom and dad fight one day, and dad fight with his uncle, and auntie fight with her sister, or my mother or whatever. Then you start seeing things, and then it says, okay, wait a minute, life isn't a backyard barbecue every day, but the joy, it's like, I think personally, I think I've spent my life wanting to get return to that joy or recreate it. Is what I wanted for my children if I could have created it. Yeah, you know. And I believe in it. I just think that life, we are in a very complicated environment, and it's become very competitive. And I think that robs us, when we start competing. It robs us of the joy of life. And I land.
Respectfully. Anybody else thoughts? Jam, Coop, or Dirt? Nobody? Y'all ain't take off.
I would say that I definitely agree with the idea of. I think it's funny when you think about it from a grown up point of view, because you're not supposed to show kids those type of things, because that could lead into some PDF type things. So you're not supposed to be showing your kids how you love your partner or what that even means on a high level. That should not be a focus. That would be awkward to be having those type of conversations with your child. How it does lead to you now learning those things from the things you watch and the things you see and the things you are allowed to interact with. Um, but I think that's part of the journey too. At the same time, I think that being in a relationship itself create some knowledge, and through that you learn what's going to help you benefit hopefully in your next relationship, and be from all of those things now you can have some type of whatever the, whatever the answer to your questions is of what is the right thing to do and what's not the right thing. But initially, yeah, you do learn it from things that to me don't have are not the best learning tools. You know what I mean? When you really think about it, because I to love my partner the way that Al Bundy loved Peggy Bundy, it could definitely probably not be the best thing to do, right? Or thinking about I'm just saying, like, you know what I mean, thinking about the idea of joke. When you watch a lot of us watch comedies growing up, right? And they joking on their partner was like a regular thing they would do. But that's not something people in a relationship really want to have happen a lot of times. You have a couple of people like that, but most people don't want you joking on them. They got self-esteem and shit like that. So you're not learning what's the proper way to even think about possibly maybe learning to be in love with somebody and what that means. And obviously you're going to learn from what you learn from, your people around you, the interactions. So you're going to just be misled. And I think that I'm a big believer in the catchphrase of hurt people. And I think that's what we usually face in a lot of hurt people who are hurting each other a lot of
Yeah.
times. And that's and
Yeah.
that and that's just the reality of it. And I don't think it's even on purpose. I just think it's just the reality of what we got going on already.
I
I'm a
think
hurt
it's
person. You
That's
was
on
gonna
purpose.
unhealed.
say
That's on purpose.
it's on purpose.
Yeah.
They know better. They know
Yeah. Everybody knows better. You always get a choice. I don't want to
Respectfully.
hear that.
you always get a choice. That's heavy. But yeah, I guess I'll land with that as far as that goes.
Go ahead, Coop. So you always get a choice. Why?
You always get a choice. In life, you always get a choice. You get a choice to do the right thing or the wrong thing, or whatever you feel that the right thing and the wrong thing is.
Respectfully.
That's what I mean by that.
Gotcha.
Well, let me
Jam.
ask the question to that. Not bad.
Go
Let me
ahead.
ask a question. If I don't know what's right or wrong, what does that even mean? Because how do I make if I don't know what's right or wrong, if I'm making a choice,
Mm-hmm.
how do I know if I don't know what's right or wrong? How can I be blamed for that choice of choosing wrong if I don't know what wrong is?
Good question.
That's what. That's when experience teach you if it was right or wrong.
But I'm talking
The
about
people,
initially when I made that choice, it was a mistake, right?
Nah,
but you was already taught.
nah.
How was
It
I
wasn't.
taught to who? Who
It
taught me?
wasn't. It wasn't.
The people around you, the
It
people that you
wasn't.
What
said,
people?
the
You
people that you
The,
felt.
said you
know,
hung
the
around.
knowledge of
Hold
it
on.
is knowing of
Hold
it.
on.
The
You
wisdom is an experiencing it again, knowing the choice, having the choice to do the same thing or not do the same thing. Learn from your mistakes.
right. Well, he said the initial, so it means started. So meaning he you. So that means pretty much you felt that was the right thing to do.
And for that to happen, you had to be taught it.
Knowledge,
All right, and the people
Yeah,
wisdom,
that
you
taught me might have
understanding.
not been the
it's
right
cool,
people to
but
be
not
teaching
no, no, no.
somebody.
They
But
didn't even
also,
give you everything, but they just taught you know right and wrong. That's all they taught you.
Yo, I don't know who was teaching you, but a lot of people who was teaching me was wrong in their own ways. I don't know
There
any
was there
like.
was there was lessons in there though, man. Everything ain't bad. There was lessons in there.
Okay.
For one, whoever taught you, I'm not going your route because you can't even give me what I'm looking for. But I see where you're going with it. I respect it, but I don't want to take knowledge from you. That's knowledge itself. You know who not to take knowledge from. They taught you.
So you knew who
So
was
either
wrong and
either
right.
either 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 bad or good, you took something from it. That's what I'm saying.
So you knew who was wrong and right.
Yeah, I followed footsteps. I mean, how else did we get in the game? Allegedly,
I'm
it was
saying that
around us.
there
It,
was a
it
time
was
when I
around
didn't
us.
know. I'm just saying, and I'm talking for myself. I can't talk for you. So you might be more smarter than me in that area. I'm telling you, there was a time I didn't know what was right or wrong. I didn't think certain things was wrong based on the people that I was around who I thought was also living right. I didn't think selling drugs is wrong for so many reasons. But if you would have asked me, is that wrong? I would have told you, no, there's nothing wrong with that. That's how people feed their family. Those
That's
are
how people
basic,
think.
but there's a
That's
lot
it.
of reasons why selling drugs is wrong.
It's
But I
wrong,
didn't know it was
respectfully.
wrong because the people that I grew up around, a lot of them did that, and I didn't see them as wrong. So when I
But
made a
watch
choice,
this. Watch this, bro. They took they showed you, but they didn't see no more because they got locked up. So that was a lesson too. You feel what I'm saying? Like selling drugs, there's great benefits, or you can go to fucking jail. They taught you that shit.
all right. I mean, I know it's a lot of time from when I was around. I don't want to blow it up, but everybody I know that sell drugs, they didn't go to jail. So, or it took them a long time until they do, until they did, because the criminal game is a lot different than it was when I was younger. It switched up a lot. I think I was talking to Coot about that. Like when we was younger, there was people who I ain't gonna say we know what they did, but we kind of had some information and niggas just had it. Nowadays, I don't think it go like that. You know what I'm saying? If somebody got the information, they filing the paperwork, they getting you put away. It's a whole different system now. So I feel like even that, at one point, if you would have told me if you murdered somebody, you're wrong for murdering them, I would have said no. They getting what they deserve. I had to learn myself that murder might be wrong. That's something I had to learn myself. Not something I just automatically knew. I had to learn that through my own trials and tribulations.
That's a
That is
very interesting dynamic, because I grew up on the opposite end of the spectrum. So I really understand what you're saying.
thank you, bless.
Respectfully. Let's take off on the first question. Your parents never showed affection. First question is, does that make affection harder for you?
nah. I
Nope.
take. I take. I mean, I set it off because that's for my
Nope.
mom. Because my mom is not the. Honestly, my mom is not the affectionate mom. She's not gonna come pat you, hug you, kiss you. You know what I'm saying? That if
When
you
you get a
go,
hundred, when you get 100 on your
if
test,
you
She ain't gonna stay. That's my boy. I knew you could do it. Keep going. No,
Yeah,
it's not
nah.
the mother I had. It's not the mother I had.
Nah, wait. Hold on. Let me fly this in because my mom did that. She did that part. She she just
Ah.
we talking about affectionate. You said
No, I
affectionate.
ain't
So
saying
I was
I ain't saying my mother's grimy like that, but you know what I mean?
yeah,
She was definitely heavy in the drug game, bro. She
everybody's
was definitely
different.
heavy in the drug game. Allegedly.
Facts.
Allegedly. That's
Facts.
what I'm saying. Like my shit is different. Different. It was always around me.
You want to finish what you were saying, villain?
Yeah, let cool fly. And then go ahead, Jim.
Now I really was talking first, but he jumped in, so I respect it.
What? It was a new question, and he told first.
Come on, boy. It wasn't. I was about to start.
Well, ask
But
Megan,
me
am I
and
wrong?
Well, look. Honestly,
let
I
bro
said
go. Let bro go. Bro go,
I
bro. Go, bro.
yeah,
Go.
yeah. You got to calm down, homie. Know what I'm saying I'm trying to chill. We on live and shit. You got to calm down.
Yeah, you different.
Yeah,
I'm like
I
this all
am.
the time. I'm like this all the time.
Yeah. Now I'm laid back, but when I need to sit up, you know what I'm saying. And we on live. I'm trying to, you know what I'm saying.
Yeah, I'm
We
like
got to
this all the time. I'm hype.
okay.
This can't
Only
be just-
only when needed. One different time. Yo, I'm, yo,
You don't
next,
want to go. You want to stay stuck
yeah.
on the.
Go ahead,
Thank you,
homie.
go, bro. Thank you,
Yeah,
brother. Thank you, brother.
go ahead, bro. Go ahead, bro.
Now, repeat that one more time so I can get it correct. 'Cause I was going somewhere and I got interrupted, man.
Your parents never showed affection. Does that make affection harder for you?
I said no because the way I motherfucking lived, it was hard to get it. Now back to the other question. I remember there are certain people that I love to see come around me because I know at some point there's an hour or two where I'm just chilling. You feel me? Like there's no business being done, right? But without them, if I don't see them, I know it's on go. It's on go. I'm not saying my mother's like the worst person, but she was just heavy in it. She made sure we ate, kept a roof over our head, cookouts and all that shit, same shit. Feel me? But at a certain part point of the party, she disappeared. You see what I'm saying? So I just grew up around love and so if I didn't get it from I got it from my sister, my brother. You feel me?
How do you express it now?
How do I express it now? I'm forthcoming. Cannot or will not. What the fuck? Who's doing?
I know one person you show affection to, and that's loyalty.
And my wife, my mother, my sister. They who's there. Come on, man. I land my dog going crazy.
Cool. You want to circle back around?
I would say coming from
Okay,
I'll
Jeff.
let Cool go if he gonna go. No movie.
Nah.
I was gonna say I come from. I would say I don't know exactly what we have in common, me and Deville, but I would say growing up in a single parent household, I think that definitely created a level where she didn't want me to see her love that she was giving her boyfriend, maybe, and he was already crazy anyway, the dude that she was with. So he didn't like. I'm not gonna say nobody doesn't deserve love, but I can see why she probably didn't want me to see him getting any benefits of what was going on.
Kick your
So,
ass, Billy.
and also based on the other things in life that had happened to me, as far as my heavy introduction into sexuality with women at a very young age. Yeah, I still I don't know I think that there's a difference between affectionate and what that means and what it doesn't mean. I think those things are very like personal choices, and I can see where somebody could say I ain't, and I can see where somebody might try to say I am. I think that you only can help that the person you fit that y'all match. Because am I gonna sit there and want to hug all day long and just do that all day long? No. Do I ever want to hug? Yeah. But again, that came from life experiences like not being able to do it. A hug didn't really sitting around cuddling didn't seem like without fucking. I'm serious. Like at one point, sitting around cuddling, it made sense if I was fucking. You feel me? Like I'm trying to fuck, so so let's sit around and hug each other the whole day. But sit around just hugging without that being the end didn't make sense until I was locked up and
Mm.
couldn't cuddle at all.
So look, Mo. So you'll walk down the street with holding hands just to get the pussy.
At one point, I probably would have. I ain't gonna say I wouldn't. On a regular basis, I don't. But at one point, I was that fiend. Yeah, I walked down the street holding hands. I would have. At one point, I'm not really into that right now. Like I said, because to me, I don't. It has a bad undertaste to me when I see people holding hands and doing certain stuff. A lot of it feels very like ownership wise.
Mm.
And I'm not saying that that's not a cool thing at all, or judging anybody who has an ownership kink or whatever, because that's your life, whatever. I hope you enjoy yourself. But for me personally, I want I want I want you to be like with me because you want to be there, not because you have no choice. I don't want you to say no to me. I don't want to say no for you. If we in the club and somebody asks you to dance, I want you to say no yourself. You know what I'm saying? Because you don't want to dance, not because I'm sitting right there. I want there to be some just genuinely who you are.
You want some
Like I
loyalty?
well, I mean, not it's not even about loyalty. It's just about. I mean, not to say you're
would you
wrong or
would
right.
you would you would you would you allow her to go out by herself if you know
Of
that?
course, I don't even need to know.
Okay.
I don't. I don't. To me, man, listen.
No, I
I'm a.
agree with you. I
I
would
was
because
talking
if I'm
about.
there,
I remember I was telling somebody about the Kevin Gates concert because he was out here
all of
performing, and I was saying how he spits in people's mouths
that was for you.
when they get on stage.
That was
And I remember we
I
was
hate
talking about it joking, and somebody had said, "Oh well, I don't let no random person spit in my mouth." Da, da, da. I was like, I get that. However, if I think that if somebody is dealing with a celebrity, they might not see them as a random person. And to me, they was like, "Oh well, I wouldn't go on the stage. If I'm there with somebody else anyway, I wouldn't go on the stage." And I'm saying to me, that shouldn't be the reason why you wouldn't want to go on stage. That you shouldn't want to do it because it's just nasty to let some nigga you don't even know and might not never talk to again spit in your mouth. You don't even know this nigga. That is awkward. So to me, I think that I want you to be already. I don't want you to be being a certain way to impress me. I want you to be being that way because that's who you are.
period. Respectfully.
Not because you ashamed of how I would view you, but no, I want you to be who you are because of who you are. If you're not going to participate in that being somebody randomly spitting in your mouth, don't just do it because you came to the concert with me. Do it whether I was there or not. Do it whether you
Yeah.
had a boyfriend or not. Just don't do it. That would be something more to me than you just saying, "Oh, I'm not going to do it if you're there." That to me is worse. That's saying
Not
that
even,
you would
not,
do
not
it.
even to mention you can never come back, bro. That shit was on TV. You can never come back. That's for the world to see. No, hell no.
So that's just what I mean.
Immediately I'm going home and if she has clothes in my crib, everything must go.
Go ahead, somebody else take off. Sig, we ain't hear you. Mac, your parents never showed affection. Does that make affection harder for you?
I think it can. There's a lot of, I've always said that, life is not really absolutes, but and we're all a spectrum of personality, character, experiences, education. Now, there's a lot that goes into one individual and what makes this person unique. So I think it can, but I think when you haven't gotten or received any affection or witnessed any affection, it can, especially I think on the boy side, not to be racial, sexually biased or anything, but I just know that for girls, like me personally, I was just I'm just an affectionate person. That's who I am as a person. But I think you, if your affection is not valued, um, you can develop like fear, almost even to the point where you think something's wrong with you. Because I had that experience. Is that my feedback? Am I have feedback on my side?
I don't hear it.
No, you good.
Okay. Um,
That was Sig, I think, because he driving. He
okay.
been
Um, so I actually almost went into adulthood and I had to get tougher because I was just so organically affectionate and nurturing. And so I had to kind of learn how to get tougher. And even though growing up, I really didn't get, just like, some of you are expressing, I did not get my emotional needs met. But I transferred affection into my dolls or into my pets, where what I couldn't get from the family, I transferred, or even younger children. If I was taking care of younger children, then I would transfer that affection towards them, and learn not to
You
expect
you
it.
you you had friends growing up. I'm assuming.
I did have friends. I had yeah, I had friends, but I was also one of those kids that, um, like when I was 13, some girls jumped me and slashed my face open, and so I was cautious on who I would trust as a friend. You know, And so, yeah, I did as a younger person. Like one of my best childhood friends, she just passed away. I went to her funeral a couple weeks ago.
My condolences.
Oh,
Thank you.
sorry to hear
Sorry
that.
about that. Sam.
So I actually had to learn the opposite. Like I had to learn to be less affectionate. you know,
Yeah,
boundaries,
that's
boundaries.
traumatic at 13. Yeah,
Yes,
that's
it is.
traumatic at 13.
Yeah, yeah. And it was right after my father got murdered too. So it's and you have to. I learned to forgive and keep it
Well,
moving.
which both of your parents was the same, or one was a preacher and one was a sinner? Which one?
I think my mother, if anything, it would be my mother would be the saint and my dad would be the sinner. Um, if I was going to
So
label them like
you
that.
seen certain things then, right?
Yeah, my dad was a heroin addict. So
Okay, so that's the side
yeah,
I'm talking about.
yeah, he was a heroin addict.
You got the gracious side, but
The
he
West,
was around or like not to dig in, but he was around or like spot
oh,
drop.
Oh,
he was around until I was about 6, 7 years old. Then he left. You know, and then he became
You
a
love that
Rolling Stone.
lifestyle. You have that
Hmm?
lifestyle. You have that lifestyle. You just got more nurture from your mother. That's it. That's all.
I didn't get really. My mom was 16, so and my dad was 19, and so they hadn't really grown into who they were, understand themselves. And at the time that I was born, teen pregnancy was very, very taboo. So and it was also frowned upon. And so, so there was a lot to consider that what they needed, you know. And both of their parents were always reminding them, the responsibility that they had created, and they needed to be responsible. So in the midst of all of that, sometimes nurturing gets pushed aside. You know.
They made a beautiful soul. You definitely got one.
Oh, thank you, brother. I love you.
Love you too.
Respectfully, respectfully. Sig, I think you was about
Right.
to take off. Or Mac.
Um, I, my parents weren't the most. I don't know. My parents weren't the most affectionate people. We just me and my mother. We actually just now learning to talk, but I'm happy for it. Um,
Respectfully.
for me, it keeps me guarded, but for my kids, I don't. My kids are raised completely. I'm not gonna say completely different. I'm not gonna act like I grew up with no love in my house because that's not the truth. Um, that learning how to accept the love. I think sometimes my mom might have tried to overcompensate with not giving giving affection because she was raising a boy. So I don't know if I don't think I don't know. It was just normal for me. So I'm a loner anyway by choice. Like I like being alone more than anything. So
Real quick question, bro. Are you do they have you got brothers and sisters?
yeah, but they're way younger than me,
Okay.
or older. I didn't grow
Okay.
up with with my sister. She was older than me, so I didn't grow up with her. I grew up with who's on the phone right here.
Respectfully.
So like I don't have that like now. I raised my kids with a whole bunch of it. It's they're never not knowing that they're loved. They're not loved here. You know what I mean? It's a guarantee. Like I'm way more like I'm probably it's fucked up because I'm the tattoo covered dad that'd be doing the tea party with his daughter. You know what I'm
Respectfully.
saying? So like I kind of overcompensate now with my kids if that makes any sense.
Yeah, yeah. I see where we come from.
So I want them to be able to express themselves and come and feel comfortable and safe to talk to me at least. You know what I mean? For years, I've never felt safe to talk to anyone, and still don't. There's still a lot of me that I keep under wraps. You know what I'm saying? So I guess that's where it went for me. I'm landing my plane.
Well, I appreciate you sharing your thoughts. You already.
Hmm.
Yeah, thank you for leaving your plane because real recognize real.
Thank you.
Okay, Sig, take off. Take off.
I grew up in several different households, and I bore witness to several different ways of how people interacted within their relationships. And
For real, I'm in the love that my mother gave me is why I be so standoffish on the affectionate side of it. Um, she was overly affectionate when it came to me. Like, just too many fucking hugs. I done had enough hugs to last me a million years, like when it came to her. And then when it came to watching how people participated with each other within a relationship, I would have to say is my auntie Brenda and my uncle Prince. I always felt like that was like fairy tale type of love. I lived with them for about 2 years. So within my relationship, I bring both sides of that within. Um and just being able to pull both of them are a good thing. but sometimes it's a bad thing because I still got that. I still catch that ick feeling when my partner try to be too much. I was like, come on, enough. We did enough. Like, yeah. But that's just off of my mom used to do it to the point where it was low key embarrassing. Like with the spit on the finger and all of that type of stuff like that. I don't be wanting to be touched for real all the time. Just bother me type shit. So, but as I get older and I learn from certain things, such as like I watch TV shows like it was presented in the synopsis. I do stuff like that. I take little jewels from little things like that, and I add it to the base that has already been built on what it may look like. I don't know. I like how Al Bundy and Peggy relationship was. That's me all the way. Like, word up. I could do it, but you better
Can I
not do
throw
it.
you one?
I'll
Can I throw
fuck
you
you
one?
up.
Can I throw you one, bro? How about the Cosby Show? How did that look
Yeah.
for you?
All of that. That's two black successful people building a family. That's pretty much the goal.
Right.
That's the goal.
Respectfully.
Yeah, all the time. Um
Respectfully, bro.
I pull now that I'm, 40 years old, I pull inspiration from wherever I see it at. Things that I inspire to be, I'll pull from that. I ask questions to people who are in relationships. I ask them how they build. Oh, what happened when you feel like this? Da 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 da. Fight through it. This, that, and the third. And it has made me a better person, not just a better man within my relationship, but throughout all my relationships. Whoever I'm dealing with on a daily basis, I try to practice these methods and things like that through that. But I feel like my base is solid. You feel me? Because even though I never seen my mother show affection within her relationship on like a touchy feely type of level, I've seen my mother go to the ends of the earth for people. You feel me? And that inspire me on how far to go, and just the type of things that people take for granted just by watching her and seeing her go through her trials and tribulations of doing that. So I put that also into my life. Like, if I rock with you, then you're a fossil pretty much. So, and I land with that.
Respectfully. Appreciate you
I
sharing
just
that.
want to quickly. I just want to quickly add. Real quick. Like I said that about my mom, but like I said, she's definitely 100% take care of the family. You feel what I'm saying? Like I just had to add that. It's just her lifestyle. That's all it is. I took from that shit. But she showed me affectionate. She had a little run-ins with the times of just me, her, and the sisters, cookouts, and you know what I mean. She showed me love, but the streets is definitely outweighed the motherfucking love. I land real quick.
Respectfully, respectfully. Cool, man. I want to circle back around you, man. Excuse the turbulence, but I want you to get your thought off.
We good?
My parents, they showed affection. I seen them. I've seen them. Like I said, I would wake up to hugs, go to sleep to hugs. Um, Certain things that happened in school, you feel me, was encouragement. I would even seeing them how they act with their parents. I got to see that. So you feel me? I got to see that love and how their parents acted with me. You feel me? My grandmother, stuff like that was a beautiful thing to experience. So getting it, and y'all mentioned Cosby Show. Yeah, Cosby Show was a. I didn't peep too much of the Cosby Show. Family Matters was my shit. Even though I wasn't, you feel me, wanted to be Carl Winslow, but just that model, that was my TV show model. That's what I watched and was like, you feel me? And every time I know everybody wanted to be Urkel or Stefan type shit. You feel me? So as far as what my parents and how I seen it and how is it harder for me? No, because I'm just as affectionate as what I seen. You feel me? Second question is, what did you think love looked like growing up? And some of y'all pretty much touched on it.
Cookouts. Like, what's that? With all the family coming, family gathering. What is that called?
Family reunion, you mean?
Family reunion. Man, there was a lot of them. Seeing people from different types of areas and all that, man, they all come together, man. It was, it was, it was. I couldn't take
Beautiful.
that shit back. I love it all.
Yeah, it's
I
beautiful.
do. Yeah, I learned that shit really early. I'm telling you what I did really early.
Yeah, I
And
did
in
get a sense of
time, you
learning
feel
love.
me? Like in time, the our older generation gave it up, but the next generation kept it going. And that was a process. We had to do it. Football games, soccer games, kickball games, baseball games. We always stayed in the loop. We always stayed with each other. So it was love, man. And then people get older. So it's up to you what you want to do. Now you got your own family. You repeat the process, or you create your own lane at this point. Do something new.
No, I agree with the reunion part. That's what
Yeah, that
me.
was
When I remember
beautiful.
the first family. One of my most memorable family reunions was when me and CeeLo we went down south to a family reunion, and my uncle Jerry taught us the moonwalk. That nigga, the minute we learned the moonwalk, we came back to New York and was killing it. You
Nigga,
hear
you
me?
cannot fucking moonwalk. Yo, stop lying, my nigga,
Yo,
G.
you want me to turn the
Yo,
camera
just
on and
tell,
get crazy
yo,
right
just
now?
tell your story. No, I don't want to see you get crazy doing
So
nothing.
that's
You're gonna
basically
make
what
a
you would
fool
say.
out of yourself. Yo, stop
Crazy
it,
as
stop
hell.
it, Michael. Yo, Michael movie come out next week. It won't be no slander, my nigga.
I'll moonwalk it to that.
Yo,
You're gonna be
son,
on my shit. Go like
you
all my
could have did
videos and
your whole
repost it, you
family
heard?
reunion story without mentioning Mike. Just stop, G. Stop,
Moonwalk,
relax.
nigga. I ain't moonwalking on shit. Straight, I'm standing on it.
Exactly.
But yeah, that was the most memorable family reunion that I had. And like I said, just to be around so much people, I didn't know none of these people, but everybody was just so welcoming, loving. Yo, what up, little cuz? Da, 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 da. Like I said, just that's what to me, like without not knowing, everybody was just reciprocal on behalf of my
So
parents.
you never,
The
so
love
you
that
never,
they
you
had.
never went to, White Street block parties.
Yeah,
All right, then. So just keep that in mind, man. You went to block parties where Aunt Dorothy shut the whole street down.
whole
Block
White
parties,
Street.
man.
Yeah, racing
Yeah, he
everybody.
said that shit wasn't hitting like that. No disrespect. He said it wasn't hitting.
Yeah, you see what I'm saying? That shit's fucked up. Man, he gotta go all the way to the city. We 2 hours away from you. We talking
He
to
said
with the
he
block
said
party.
that was he said that wasn't John Blaze. He didn't really feel the
That was
love
the
there like that.
He can't get jiggy with this shit. Fucked up.
Nah, I got memorable White Street moments too.
Here go the catering.
But however,
I just had to ask a question, nigga, because come on, our block parties is memorable, man.
respectfully. Anybody else want to take off? What did love look like growing up?
It looked at like a perfect union. On the outside looking in, it did look like a perfect union until you got older and then you realized all of the things that you were shadowed from. Like the turmoil, the trials and tribulations, staying together no matter no matter what, whatever come down the pipe. See, that's the part you don't really get to witness, especially when you go into these family family events and all of that. You got to think when people come into them family events or you see them out, a lot of times they got their best smile on. So you really don't know what's going on behind the scenes. All you know is that it looks happy. You feel me? And
Respectful.
I really feel like that does a disservice to the child because you grow up trying to chase that only to realize it's a high that you won't never be able to get to enjoy, like a gram of fentanyl. It's there,
I
but
just
you'll never be
that.
able to enjoy it because that's not what it is. You feel me?
Yeah, I respect that.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
you chasing,
Kind of,
you running that.
it's kind of harsh growing up, and then you know what I mean. You look up to a certain person, you got flaws too. Now you taught me about flaws. I get you, brother. Yeah,
Yeah. Then
definitely.
you in a relationship
Yeah.
with somebody. Y'all first little goddamn spit or spat. The first thing you think in your head is, it's not supposed to be like this.
It's not what I got
When in
taught.
all, when in all naturality, you right on track.
Perfect timing.
It's just the reality. It's not about what you go through. It's what you do when you get on the other side. This is most important.
Respectful.
And I land with
Voice.
that.
I definitely respect that one, bro.
Smooth
Real shit.
touchdown.
Hmm.
Mac, V, Cool, Dirt, take off.
I would say that love when I was growing up was not something that was it seemed like a focus. It seemed like just a add on. Like, yeah, I'm in love too, but I got this also going on. I wasn't a person who was going to a lot of weddings and things like that growing up. So that was like for me personally, it was a different situation for me. So I think that I didn't think about what that means until I got older and how that was connected to a relationship, you know?
Respectful.
And I land with that.
Um, love didn't look real to me growing up. You know, because
Interesting.
all you see is the TV shit. I don't know. It just all look like even now to this day, certain things look fairy tale to me. You know, and sometimes it's like I'll see some shit happening and I have to question. We're like, yo, is this really life? Because when things are going good, I'll be thinking like, is this how it's supposed to go? I don't know. Like even now, I look at it like I don't understand. I still don't understand love. I understand loyalty, no pun intended. You know, like, but I understand that. Like the love aspect, I always seen. It seems like outside of my mother, and to an extent to that story, you know, everybody who ever said they love me, you know, they always do some wild shit. But everybody who was
I
always
love you,
look,
Hood.
yeah, I know. Here we go with this shit again. Everybody want to diss me again, but nah, like I don't know. I just look at loyalty, your consistency and shit. I don't equate that to be love. So I'm still a little funny on the love situation. So I look at it like people who I love, I equate that with loyalty, if that makes any sense. And
Respectful.
I land there.
Cool, V.
And y'all give me some thoughts, man. Some thoughts, some deep thinking. You
Come
know what
in.
I'm saying? Can you hear me okay?
Yeah.
What are you doing here?
Okay.
Oh, y'all really can't hear me out there. I heard you got some
Testing. Oh wow, man. Wow, wow. it's so many things that you all touched on, and that made me think about, even my own fantasies. Most girls, like my cousin was saying, most girls dream of happily ever after. And we're spoon fed the Cinderella fantasy, even in, they touch on that in so many different aspects of, TV shows like Girlfriends and, other things. They touch on, women, we have this dream of happily ever after. And sometimes I wonder if the fantasy of love, if because that gives you a feeling too. Like when you're sitting there watching Cinderella or Snow White or whatever, Cosby's or Family Matters, there's a certain sense of value you get from that experience. And actuality, it seems that even observing or watching these television programs or reading a book or whatever cartoon, that would almost even become a place where if you're not being shown affection or love in your true environment, that this environment would become safer. And because if I sit in front of the TV and I'm just watching the Cosby Show, and it gives me a certain feeling, that feels better than sometimes than what my life with my family feels, And then is there a comparison, or do you just say that feels better, and you hold on to that, and then you go on about your activities of life, assuming because you got some value, which is a feeling from something you watched on television or read in a magazine or a book, and that's sustaining you so that you can survive in an environment where you may not be getting the affection that you're actually witnessing on the Cosby Show or Family Matters or wherever. And I look at that, and it made me really think, as I'm listening to you all share, and what it looked like in real life for me. Um, there was a lot of gift giving, Christmas time. When I was a kid, every year I couldn't wait till Christmas. And it wasn't about the gifts, it was about the spirit that would be present at that time of year, which is not like that now, but it was like that then. And it seemed like everybody got joyous, like from Thanksgiving, right after like Halloween, which is my birthday, to New Year's. It's like people were in this space of joy. And I really wish
Your
it would.
birthday is on Halloween.
Yes, it is.
Heavy,
That's
Yes,
crazy.
it is.
Awkward as fuck.
heavy.
That's crazy.
And so I think what it looked like, and sometimes, I even till this day, my family's very big on Thanksgiving, Christmas, and doing the things that look like Christmas. But outside of those things, there's, it's like in between holidays, what's really there. And it's like the expression was mostly expressed in special events. And I think someone was sharing, about when you get to a certain age and you really see who somebody is. And that's what I was sharing earlier in the conversation about adults were on their best behavior, like between the ages of like 1 till about 5 or 6, and all of a sudden around 6, 7 years old, you begin to like see stuff, and make connections, but after my dad left, uh I think what I replaced, what I wasn't getting, because my mother became the provider, because I always say when the dad leaves, the mother leaves too. And what I mean by that is she can't be the nurturer anymore. She has to focus on becoming the provider. And so
Can I ask you a
uh
question? Not to cut you off. My apologies.
mhm,
But that made me think of something. So if the dad, if the dad was never there, would you have the same catchphrase of saying the mother was never there? Then
that's the
you get what I
nurturer.
mean, though. You get what I'm
Yes,
saying, though.
yes, exactly. The mother as the nurturer.
Yeah, that's what I
Yeah,
mean. Not to say
yeah,
she wasn't there at all, but I mean, like, yeah, like the person who would just be a mother wasn't there because the dad wasn't there, so she wasn't
right.
able to take her role. She had to take the
Exactly.
role of the other role. That's what I mean.
It,
Thank you.
yes. And that's why, like I am, because I'm observing not just what's happening with people I know in my circle, and even as I'm listening to you all here. But I'm also observing we're all, I can safely say we're all Black Americans here. Um, and our whole experience as
I'm
Black
Jamaican.
Americans.
I was born in Jamaica.
Okay, so you're born in Jamaica. And but the experience
Southside.
of because there's not this, like what influences our ability to love one another is not, because I think if we had ideal environments, we would just love. I think it's
Yes,
in our
that's correct.
I think it's in our melanin. And but I think when all of that stuff gets interrupted, politically, propaganda, like all this stuff, like there's been so much stuff that's outside of our community that infiltrates us to break us down and break the family down. But when we're not dealing with that, bless you,
Thank you.
when we're not dealing with that shit, we just love, and it's like all this other shit comes in. I was talking to a friend, he's all into politics. I'm not that heavy into politics, but and he was saying, making an observation that when Black people chose to shift to Democrats, for instance, in the 60s, 1960s, he said, the marriage rate went down and the crime rate went up. And he's a Republican, he's a Black Republican. That's a whole different topic. But it made me think, like, wow, he's right. The
Me
marriage
too.
rate, you're a Black Republican.
Yes.
And so he's like, the marriage rate went down
Oh.
and the crime rate went up. And because when, there's tests to prove, I mean, they took the Black man out, they drafted him and literally took him out of the home. And it left the woman, the mother, who no longer just, she couldn't just be the mother. You add the fact that if she's a nanny or something like that working for white people, she's giving all that nurturing to, her job. And then when she comes home, she ain't got enough to give to her children. She ain't got enough energy left over. And so, but I think where it supplements, that's when Christmas comes in. When I'm giving you Christmas, for all the hugs I couldn't give you because I was working 3 jobs all year, here are your Christmas toys, for
Mhm.
that. And and I'm also, we were big on family reunions as well. And that was one of my favorite things, is a family reunion. I have to admit, I love family reunions. But nowadays they're few and far between. But anything that brought us together, I think sometimes outside of like those hallmark superficial holidays, I think sometimes my family was afraid to express it. You know, so they would use things like birthdays and holidays to get you gifts, get you a card, maybe give you a little money. But sometimes beyond that, there was like a fear, of being more present. And so it's like that's how they learned, that's how they knew how to express. And then there, to go deeper into the psychology of even that, um, you know, we can't forget, that the historical battles that we have fought definitely affects how we show up in our relationship, even when it comes to parenting and nurturing or the lack thereof. We've been in survival for like 500-600 years.
Respectful.
And I learned with that.
Dirt, April 17th.
Oh, April 17th, we got the show at the spot. That's Friday, this Friday. That's 325 Keith Shy Way. Come through, man. It's going to be hilarious. Make sure you bring a diaper so you don't piss yourself. You're going to be cracking up so much. We got all the jokes. It's going to be me, Larry Starks, another comedian, and Tyler Bryant hosting. It's just going to be, man, it's a good area. It's not a real big space. Ain't no danger. You're going to be safe there. You're going to be able to enjoy yourself and really, act the fool for April. Some people only see April 1st as the April Fool's Day. But if you ask me, the whole April is an opportunity to be a fool. I'm 34 and a half. I'm your favorite cousin from my auntie uncle. You had. And I am here for HSA and I am here for her service announcement. But the reason I want to talk to this man right now is April 17th. at the spot that's 3325 Keithshire Way in Lexington, Kentucky. Comedy will be going down. In the words of my cousin, oh my God. Did I did it right?
It's oh my God. You know what I mean? That's how you do it. But anyway you say it, any variation, man, it's still all the same, man. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, man. Listen, it's going down at the spot, man. Me, Dirty 4.5, man, we doing our thing. You know what I'm saying? Come see these jokes. We telling jokes at a high level, man. If you want to come out and laugh, you want to get some QT points with your girl, you know what I'm saying? You can do two things at once, man. So I expect to see you there, man, if you want to see a high quality show, you dig?
And I'm gonna tell you this right here. I just watched this man's special about like maybe whenever it released, maybe like a month ago, was it? Hilarious. I'm a hater. No, I'm a hater. I'm gonna be honest. I'm a hater.
Yeah.
So, especially when I watch, it's like watching porn when you fuck good. It's sometimes you like, he ain't holding his leg right.
Yeah.
This nigga was holding his leg right. At the library, he had to make a noise at the library.
Facts, man. That's what we do, man. We put in work, and the results show for themselves, man. Our resume ain't never been on trial, man. Real deal funny. So you know what I'm saying? The 18th at the spot, y'all pull up. You dig?
Thank you, my God. Bless. He said the 18th, but it is the 17th. That was, that was a one take. We got it done, but it's the 17th.
This Friday.
This Friday, we should be there. Definitely, yeah. Still tickets available.
That'd be cool.
And if you're going from watching this show, you only have to pay for half your ticket. So let us know. Hood service announcement, show up.
Respectfully. Someone watch
I ain't paying for
constant.
shit. I'm just walking in there. Respectfully.
Okay. Well, yeah.
Off QR code.
He got the QR code.
I did it to Bootsy. I did it to Jeezy. Nigga, that's how I'm giving it up. I'm walking in there.
Yeah, niggas know your body. You good. Someone watch constant arguments at home. Question is, does chaotic homes normalize conflict?
Yes.
And why?
Yes, because there's no other. Your conflict resolution is chaos. You're not even looking for peace because you don't even know it. You don't know it until you have it. So if all you knew was chaos, that's what you're gonna seek. That's where all of this toxic shit comes from. Literally, all this new generation toxic stuff is what a lot of people grew up around chaotic situations, even if it wasn't their home. They just grew up around chaos, and they didn't know they didn't know they didn't know peace, and when they went home they just had indifference. So they just thought those were normal, and you don't understand it until you get real peace, until you get a person who actually says to you, yo, that's not what we do here. Like, that's not the adult thing. Like, when I first moved from New York down to Charlotte, I didn't realize how much I cussed. You know what I'm saying? So I'm like, damn, people don't talk like that. People don't talk so hard.
Word.
I had to really like curtail what I was doing. Then I started understanding. Then I started understanding, you know, being with people who are at peace. How they have their peace. Sitting on their porches or going out here and doing this or doing that. Then I'm like, oh, so this is real peace. This is what people. And then you start modeling after it. But yeah, that's pretty much. If you don't know it, you'll never. If you grow up in chaos, you'll always use chaos as a first go to any type of form of it. I land my plane there with that.
Respectfully, smooth. Anybody that's on the floor, take off. Does chaotic homes normalize conflict?
I think that you might not even. I think it normalizes it to the point where you might not even see it as conflict. It's such a normal thing. It's such a normal thing. You're not even going to think of this as conflict.
Thank you, brother. I promise you. Thank you, Mo.
What do you
Thank
mean?
you, Mo.
I'm in a conflict right now.
You
How
feel
we
me?
we're interacting. This is how people interact. This is a normal interaction. This is how you talk. This is how somebody who loves somebody talks to each other. And this is normal. You can't accept me talking to you like this, then you don't love me. I think that it does create a thing where you believe based on the behavior you seen the person you receive who said they were in love accept that you should either accept something similar or something different. And a lot of times when it's a normalized thing, I feel like you might feel like I should or the other person you with should accept that. If I witness my dad hit my mother, it would make sense. Not that I should hit my wife or my significant other, but that I might assume that she would take that too. That if she does wrong and I hit her and she say I'm leaving, I could be shocked. Like, what do you mean you're leaving? I hit you. That doesn't mean you leave. You just go heal and get, you know what I mean? So I think that the chaoticness based on the alleged success that came from that situation can be completely confusing. Because if you've seen somebody who's beat or cheat on their wife or whatever's going on, and they have now owned a house and they own a car, and those people are successful, and that was the house that everybody was having cookouts at, and they wasn't arguing at the cookout and all of that thing, it can make it to where you have now to believe that's normal, and the person who's not willing to accept that is the one who's not normal. You know, it's all about are you going to rebel or not? Are you going to rebel? So I think that and do you even know what to rebel against is the best question I would present with the person, because I do see that if you see people screaming, I don't think you're not. They said this before. I heard. I'm in with this. I'm gonna land with this. I heard they say that you can tell what kids are getting beatings by how
Question
they
to the
behave.
panel. Question. Yeah, you could pose that question to to the co-pilots. Does that well panel? That's what I'm gonna say. Question to the panel. Can you tell kids? Can you? Yeah. What was your question?
You could tell by who gets beatings based on how they behave towards other people. They said
Question to the panel. Is that true or false?
Probably would say it's true. I mean, I think that's
True.
like, yeah, psychological,
My kids don't get beatings. You would assume they did.
Dude, I'm like Tito Jackson. Beatings were a way of life growing up in the hood back in the day.
Word up. And son, I used to pop off on all type of people all the time. Huh? Adults, kids, everything. And I used to get ass whoopings. I don't know. What are you saying? That if you get beatings, you'll be more physical?
they said that you can tell which kids get beatings based
In
on,
what way? By politeness or by
yeah, by the
agitation?
Behavior.
lack of politeness, the behavior that they have towards other people. Those things are the things they said you can tell.
Oh yeah,
Lashing
that would
out,
make
Yeah,
sense.
probably.
See, that makes sense.
that's
Yeah.
a fact because I'm a testament to that. I got
Yeah,
beatings on my motherfucking life, and
yeah.
may you guys not agree, but I'm pretty I'm very well right now.
Wasn't that
I'm
the
very
message
well
in the
right now.
in the
I'm
color
I'm
purple?
knowledgeable. I'm knowledgeable, right? Like I respect my women. No violence, right? Right. So a couple of beatings won't have you hate the parent or have you more respect it later. So all them beings that I got, not just from my mother, cousins, big brothers, all the beating ups and all the fightings that I've been through, and it just got me to where I'm at now. And I'm more knowledgeable. Feel me? So yeah, get beings from your parents. Besides the what do you call them? The preacher's daughter.
What's
Like
recommended?
that's different. Yeah, that's different. The preacher's daughter get treated different from the hood. the hood daughter.
Respectful. That's
But
an interesting dynamic.
I definitely learned so much respect off of not just the beatings, them telling me why I got the beating. You disrespected. You shouldn't have did that. I just okay. I land on that.
But yeah, I would say it's probably true to
Oh
answer
shit! I
Dirk
thought I was
question.
muted. My fault.
You valid. To answer Dirk
No, I thought
question,
I
I would
was
say it's
muted.
probably true because most of the behaviors end up, like you said, us running with gangs, running with, you feel me? Certain behaviors that we do after what's happening in the home affect what's going on outside type shit. Second question is how does that shape relationships, or how did that shape your relationship?
It really don't, because you're strong structured, if that makes sense. Like it was developed this way. So as a man, whoever taught me, whoever developed me with my own knowledge, developed me this way. So it's a respect and demand respect. Like I'm definitely gonna respect you because how I grew up. But definitely gonna, you know what I mean? Like show you, you know, I got taught both ways type shit. More stronger on more stronger on the guy's side, but there's like a couple of females that just stood out to me that made me, you know what I mean, think of, you know what I mean, the respect aspect of a relationship type thing, if it makes sense. But I land.
Respectful. It's on the floor, jump out the window. How did that shape your relationship, or how does that shape relationships?
Well, um, I think the interesting thing is it's a very, how can I say this? I remember like my mom saying to me, "I beat you because I love you."
We all heard
And
that before.
yes, and I remember being in an abusive relationship with a man, physically abusive, and he said it. And when I heard him say it, I said, "Oh hell no, I got to get out of this relationship," you know. And um, so I think because on a metaphysical level, and I'm not sure how many of us here delve into metaphysics because I'm always thinking about things from a metaphysical standpoint. The subconscious, those it gets accustomed to what it knows. And that message could be lodged in, on a subconscious level. And on a subconscious level, you could be attracting things that you're familiar with, being that the root word to family is familiar, and so I think, and also the absence for me as a woman who grew up in a single mother household, I'm learning some deep stuff about this single parent. I'm just now learning some deep stuff about the effects of growing up in a single mother household per se, not just a single parent, but a single mother. And because the absent father, a girl can learn her value from a father figure, if whether her father's there. And so as you grow up, if you haven't had that from your father, you really, you may not know how to really love a man or know what his needs are, and you may not know how to ask for what you're worth. And I think that's how it can show up. It can show up in a relationship from a young female who grew up without her father, or who, love was expressed in a way like "I beat you because I love you," some Color Purple type shit. And um, and that's how it can show up in adulthood. And I learned with that.
Respectful.
Anybody else jumping out the window? How does that shape? How did that shape yours or a relationship?
I think I learned in hindsight that my inability to want to argue comes from me witnessing such bad arguments growing up. Because I already kind of know what I don't want to be doing. I don't want to be disrespecting my partner. I don't want her to be disrespecting me. I don't want that type of environment. Not to say that that would be that's a bad thing that I don't want that, but I was able to working with my sponsor and recovery to learn why I'm such a standoffish person when it comes to arguments between me and my partner. And I realized that because I've witnessed too many bad arguments, I haven't seen them end good. So that is, I don't think about arguments ending good. In my mind, if you told me an argument ended good, I probably think you're lying. Like, what? The argument ended good? How did it end? How does the argument end good? I wouldn't even believe that. But I know that there probably is some ways that an argument could end good because maybe it can get to a discussion. But in my mind, when I think of arguments, I think of disrespecting each other and disrespecting each other's name and just breaking each other down, a different type of verbal abuse. And I don't want to participate in that. And I think that it can make it and I but I also at the same time think because of my not want to argue, it can make a conversation as not an argument that makes me a fear that it might be coming off as an argument, not want to have that conversation either. So I think it could definitely affect your communication skills or issues or
Most
create
definitely.
some.
First thing I think of when I think of arguments, I think of Martin because I think it was Dirt that said we grew up on comedy, but it was Preem who said that when this shit happened, we'd be looking at it like, is this for real? Like, are you dead ass? You feel me? So me, I didn't see my parents argue per se, but when I did see them argue, you feel me? Certain things that I seen in their relationship, I avoid. So healthy, chaotic, and between making it a normalcy is your choice. Like you said, like Koo said, you gotta. Everybody has a choice, even if you don't know. The knowing is the knowledge of it. You're not right or wrong for making any decision. You just got wind of it. You know it now. The knowledge, the right or wrong comes from the second experience, revisiting it. You feel me? So arguments, argumentative. I haven't really seen that. I've seen it in not my home, but in other homes. You feel me? And like Dirt said, you could tell if we could tell a kid who's been beat at home, then there's other things that you could tell while people are when they're going through in their relationships where it stems from. You can see that, or we see that today, type shit. Learning, Um, yeah, Martin was one of them shows that comes to mind when I think of the arguments and just a funny way to de-escalate something, or how I would. You feel me? Type shit. Does healthy love set high standards? Or did anybody else want to jump off on that question? How did that shape yours or a relationship?
Are you on the last question or a new question?
I'm still on that one for right now because we still got. I
Uh,
think who didn't touch, didn't jump. I think Mac jumped, or did you? Sig didn't jump.
Good.
All right, we move on to the next question. Then, does healthy love set higher standards?
I would like to, I think from a feminine principle, yes. And I'm not trying to be biased again, gentlemen. Work with me for a moment. Because when a woman has low standards, um, she to me, you don't get the best from a man that he has to offer. And that's been my experience. I don't want to generalize anything per se. Um, and because I remember I was going through this phase of like, oh, okay, monogamous committed relationship is so passe, and we're in a new phase of, sexual freedom. I went through that phase in my life because all my girlfriends were saying I was too Cinderella and I was too Pollyanna and all that kind of stuff. And so I was like, well, maybe I need to be let go of this Cinderella happily ever after fantasy and let me explore, and I lowered my standards. And in the process, I realized I didn't like it. And when you low, because like if there was this message that women can have sex like a man, and what is that anyway? What is having sex like a man? Who said, running around, banging a bunch of women is having sex like a man? And but that's what society has convinced us is having sex like a man. And but what I discovered in lowering your standard, you don't get the highest value of what a man can offer you. And then you have to be willing that if he's not willing to meet your standard, that he's not the one, and just let him go. And so I would say, yeah, you got to have a high standard because it's about self love. I love, if you can't meet me where I've learned to love myself, and this is my standard for loving myself. And that goes both ways for both men and women, I would think, gay or straight, it goes both ways for all of us, regardless, love yourself. And that's the standard, and hold it high. And as a woman, yeah, you have to, you got to have if you want a man to treat you with respect. And if you have a low standard and he meets you at that place, then that's where it's going to be. And you can't say, okay, I want emotional value from you now, but you didn't require that in the beginning. Because a lot of women get caught up in the superficial shit. That's, this nigga can buy me this and he can buy me that. Men will buy you stuff. They want to. If they feel you're worthy of it. That's not even like to get caught up on that. You're missing out on the man. Any male can do what a male does, but a man, if you want a man, I mean a man. You have to have as a woman, I feel like I have to have a
Good
high.
man, Savannah.
As a woman,
Hey,
yeah.
hey, hey, man. You already know what it is, man. If you want, say that one more time. Please say that one more time, Queen.
The
If
good
you want,
man, Savannah.
Huh? Huh?
you
Stop playing with us. Stop playing with us.
you
Now hold
know,
on. Push back for that standard word.
and so I think as a woman, I know my value, and so that's my standard, and I land with that.
Push back for that standard word. If the goal is to be a housewife, what
Right.
stand what standard is there?
The
It's
goal
you
to
got it. You got
housewife.
it. You think what you never did is say submit.
Hmm. Yeah, there's that word again.
Yeah, but you never said it. You said all the right things, but you didn't say submit.
I'm gonna tell you why, brother. I didn't say that
Nah, no,
word.
no, no, no. Let me lay my plan.
Okay.
Yeah, yeah. Let me get this one. Now I love you now. You know I love you now.
I love you too.
But it is more of that. Like I get what you're saying, but it's definitely more of that. Where you feel entitlement. Right? And it's not fair because if we create and we want you and we want the best for you, I gotta transform. I just not you per se. You know I'm not talking about you. But it's just then when you were talking about.
So you're saying, so we're discussing the submission, being submissive. One of the things that a man bought, he and I were having the same conversation. And one of the things he said was, and it made me think, because I'm not like when that discussion of submission comes up, it's a touchy subject.
Pause.
Um,
I know that you're not fully healed.
It's okay,
You're
brothers.
not
Let
a
me.
touchy stubborn. This standard is them
Yeah, you're
checking
not
out
fully healed.
1% of a man that has this income. If if your goal is to be a housewife, then if the standard is another word for bank account, finances.
I don't see it. Okay, standard to me is about self-respect and dignity and integrity.
But
You
she's
want you
a
And
want you
housewife.
want to know what's crazy? Respectfully, like here's that topic again. Your standards would not reach a rich man, and me and you are wanting too much, right? Meanwhile, the woman in the hood with us want way more. All we want to do is just show you our ability to love and what's the word? Submit, right? Then you
mhm.
got to work hard to get it, but not you per se, but the standards of which I want in the hood. A rich man ain't going. A rich man is rich, so you're not even in the standards of him. So now bring that shit back home, right? Bring it back in the hood, and if a man's doing well for you, your standards is way too high. Not you, but I'm just saying in general.
Give me an example of what you're speaking of.
A woman in the hood want everything,
Okay.
right?
Hmm.
But a rich man ain't gonna have, not even look at it.
Well, Chris, did you hear the joke Chris Rock said? He said that if Beyonce worked at Burger King, she still would be able to get Jay-Z, but if Jay-Z worked at Burger King, he wouldn't be able to get Beyonce. It's the highest
Now I like the way you
quality.
did that, but it ain't the same. I definitely like the way you did that. It ain't the same.
It's to me, it's not always just based on money and finances
Y'all
alone.
want too much in the hood, but a rich man don't want y'all. Why?
It, you
Yeah,
know,
why? Right? So bring it back to the hood and let's grow. That's it.
oh, okay, brother, let me follow you. Okay, so we're talking about standard, we're talking about submission, and we're talking about women in the hood have too
It's
high
all the
stand.
same. Now it's all the same. Submit is woman in the hood. Because you're never gonna get a rich nigga. Ever. Not with that attitude.
Okay, okay, so what you're no.
No,
We're
not
not
you.
talking.
No, no, not you got an attitude. I'm just saying the women in our hood. See,
Yes,
you grew up different from me. So I'm talking about more that way,
yeah, yeah,
right?
yeah,
So I respect
yeah.
what you're saying, but I'm going off of my environment, what I grew up on. And you got
What I'm
you know what I mean?
Yeah, yeah. What I'm saying though, okay, so what I let me make sure I understand what you're saying. What I gather what you're saying is that a woman needs to submit, meaning lower her standard because she's in the hood.
If the man, if the no, 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 if the man is the man that he portrays, like he's the shit. That's the difference. Y'all want more.
Okay. Okay. Okay.
Submit to him. Submit to him. Not the bad people in the hood. Submit to him because he's showing you what's up. Submit that you
How
got a
would you
problem with taking.
how would you define submit? What does that look like to you?
I mean, the man's doing his job. Period. Long story short, no cheating, no hitting, no bees.
Okay, but that's you.
No,
How does it
that's showing the woman that you're with respect. You're not gonna
yes.
get what you right. That's it. Respect.
But what does it
So
look like
submit.
for a woman to submit? When you say you want a woman to submit, what does that look like to you?
It means the woman agreed to my agreed to be with me.
Okay.
Hello,
Okay. Yes, yes.
hello.
Yeah, we're all here.
No. I'm saying hello to you. Like hello. That's what it means.
Okay.
The man
My bad.
does his job.
Okay.
The
Now,
problem is you gotta take on. The problem is that us in the hood take on old relationships. They move
does,
out. Men move on.
do you think that has anything to do with dysfunction at all
For who?
for both parties? Both the
Nah.
men and the women. We have a lot of dysfunction in the Black community.
But men don't. The niggas I be around. The men I be around, not niggas. The men I be around. I know they've been in new relationships. What they don't do is talk about the old one or
Okay.
portray you 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 yelling too
Mm,
much. You remind me of him. Nah, men don't do that shit.
okay. So, what does the ideal relationship look like to you? Like, if you could have everything you want in a woman, what does that in the relationship? What does that look like to you?
Communication, respect, loyalty, and overstanding. I land my plane with that.
Okay. Thank you for that, brother. Because when I think of submission, and I get it, and I know this
No,
this
not
is
submission. Submit.
submit. Well, submission is the act of submitting. Okay.
No, no, you're not doing
Okay.
that.
Let me
You're not gonna
finish,
do that.
brother. Let me finish, brother. Let me finish.
Respectfully, I love you. I love you respectfully, but come on, you said something different.
The act of submitting. Is that okay? The is the dynamic of falling back and letting a man lead. And, you know, the idea of that, I mean, in theory, you have to have an environment where both parties work together. So I was having a conversation, like I was saying, and one of the this guy was in the army, or I don't think he's in the army any longer, but he's like retired from the army, or whatever it is. He served his time or whatever. And one of the things he said was maybe that women don't want to submit because to submit means you have to be on a mission. And so if a man is leading you in the direction that is
What
healthy,
does that mean for a woman? You're referencing a man's point of view of submit. What does
I'm
submit mean
just
to you?
I'm getting there. Okay. So, but when he said it, it made me think, because like for me, I'm willing to cooperate, on all fronts, all across the board. I will cooperate with you. And I know when I'm outside of the household and I'm in the street with you, yes, I have to be submissive because you as my man are protecting me, especially if I lived in Harlem for a long time, so, and I was in a situation, me and my man was coming from a restaurant. A dude got too close to me and he stepped, and of course I got in between it or whatever. And as we walked home, he was like, don't ever do that, and I stepped out of bounds, he said, but I didn't want to see the fight. And I was like, because the guy was drunk and he got too close. But at the same time, I was like, ooh, he protected me, you know. So in that moment, yeah, there's an act of let him be a man. And so when it comes to submitting, um, the narrative of that by definition is not attractive to modern women. And because it means that, okay, do I have a voice in the relationship? So if you're really going to lead the relationship, where are you taking me? Where are you leading me to? And is it healthy for me to quote unquote just follow? I don't, I've been in a situation because I used to be a part of a church for a long time. And so in that
So
education,
what's
that
the point?
Christian,
What's the point? What's the point of being with him? You're gonna doubt his manhood.
you you don't doubt it. You just want to
No,
make a
what's the point
healthy.
of you being with that man, doubting his manhood? Don't say you don't doubt it because you're not letting him lead. So you doubt it. You doubt his leadership.
Is that leading or protecting?
No, that's leadership. It's not protecting.
It's
That's
it
leadership, and
is protecting.
look. That's leadership, and everything else follows. Just submit.
So what does that look like? Once again, you brothers gonna chime in.
You,
What does
but you never.
submission?
The reason why you
Hold on.
don't know what it
I'm
looks
gonna pose
like.
that to the other question, so y'all don't just go back and forth.
No, no,
Question
no.
to the panel.
Nah, this was juicy, bro.
No. I dig it, but I want to hear. I'm gonna
Nah,
pose that
respectfully.
question to everybody else. We circle back around.
Respectfully, we was going
Question to
there.
the
We was
panel.
definitely going
Question
there.
to the panel. What does submission look like to you? Mine is I want my girl. I want my woman in pocket and behind me, so we can take off like a rocket. What's your take on submission?
I would say it's definitely a everyday thing. To me, like she put an example out of how when I'm being protected, that makes sense. But to me, the behavior that you exhibit in leisure is an example of the behavior you will exhibit when it gets serious. So to me, it's easy to go, you know what, I'll wait for this person. I'll do it then, but I'm not going to do it on a regular day. I think there is a level of trust that definitely comes with it. And you're supposed to possess that. And I think the biggest issue that she did, I agree with that she pointed out, was an inability to truly trust, I think, partners that people be with. Like she said, to where am I being led to? I think that if somebody tells you where you're being led, at that point, if you don't believe they're going to really lead you there, that's a conversation to have then. I don't believe this. All right, I'm out of it. But I feel like, you know who said it the best way? Rest in peace, Prodigy, man. Ain't no such thing in halfway crooks. You feel me? So if you submissive, you submissive. If you not, you not. And for the right person, you will be. And the reality of life is most people have been submissive for the wrong person. So I think that now you get with me and you're scared, you're afraid that I'm the wrong person too to be submissive for, because your last submission that you did, or the couple of your last submissions, didn't work out in the way you wanted to. You end up having to tap out and submit. But I believe that in any organization or any group that is successful, there has to be a leader. And if you want to be successful, you have to decide amongst this is who the leader will be. These are the things. This is how we going to do this. This is the way things are going to go. That type of idea to me, though, that type of mindset and thing is an example of why you're going to make it or not make it.
Let me get it next.
You know what I'm saying? So for me personally, I think that it's that is the reality that we're dealing with halfway crooks. We dealing with a person who say they submissive, who is submissive, but who allow in their fear, which is false expectations appearing real, to make them cautious in their submission and make them feel like you either got to jump through hoops or they going to still halfway be submissive to you. And they're not going to give you the complete leadership. And due to that lack of complete leadership, when things fail, the worst part about that is if we was on a boat, I'm gonna end with this. I know you ain't. I got you, Nom. But if we was on a boat and I'm supposed to be the leader of that boat, and the whole way during the trip, the people on the boat or the one person who was on the boat with me was causing me to lose concentration on my journey of where we going. If we still didn't make it to where we were supposed to be sailing to, the funny part is they're not gonna take accountability about how much they distracted me in my boat. They're not going to take that. They're not going to go, "Oh, we didn't make it to Trinidad because because I was over there bothering you when you should have been sailing." No. They're going to just say, "Oh, we didn't make it because we never would have made it in the first place." And that's just the reality of it. You don't make it to success with the people that you allegedly supposed to be submitted to because you're not even actually giving them true submission. And I'll end with that. I'll land with that.
Exactly.
Mm.
Cream,
I
take off.
I think when it comes to that, I understand submission is hard for a lot of people and I'm not even gonna just say a woman or a man because it's hard for both sexes. It does not matter, you know. But what we all fail to realize a lot of times when it comes with submission and things of that nature, we all submit to something. We submit to an idea. We submit to a religion. We submit to something. So here's the
Facts.
thing,
I like that.
and I love what Mo said
Good
about
perspective.
about the trust aspect of it, and when you should be getting off the boat. Like, and I think that also it's a two-part problem. I think that certain things comes from the leader and certain things comes from the person who's being led. But ultimately, I'm gonna say it like this: it sucks, but it's like if you're the quarterback, you're the captain, whatever. Nobody cares unless you landed safely, unless you got the port. You know what I'm saying? Nobody cares about the excuse of why that somebody was lighting motherfucking matches in your shoe in your toes or whatever while you was trying to steer. Nobody cares about that. That's the worst part about it. But the reality, and that's I guess what being a better leader is knowing how to, pretty much block all of that shit out every way you can. And it's like sometimes it almost has you have to be selfish. You have to be selfish and narcissistic because you have to have complete tunnel vision because there's people who don't trust in your vision. And that goes back to the fact of it's our job as leaders to weed them out. And a lot of people want people or things to submit or want to be the leader, and they have no vision, no plan, no nothing. We just traversing the ocean and we figuring it out by day. Nah, nobody wants to be around that. I think people have to, but people also have to take accountability for the person they choose to lead them. You understand what I'm saying? And
Yeah.
you shouldn't do the halfway crook part of it as, well, let me just stick around here till something better comes. No, it's either you all in or you not. You know what I'm saying? Like, because you are culminations of every choice that you make every day. So if you choose to be around a person that's not really a leader but pretending, that's on you. Now if you was manipulated, cool. But how long is that going to work too? So I say all that to say this about the submission thing. Submission is something that you have to have utter and full trust in it to even give it. Doesn't matter who it is, man, woman, female, whatever. We all submit to something. So, like, I think a lot of things with society, with the problem with society, is people really don't know the grasp of the English language. And what I mean by that is that people take nowadays people take words and make words mean something else besides what they actually mean. So when has submission become a bad thing when we all do it? Like when had it's only bad when a person is telling you to go rob a bank and you submit to them. But let's be realistic. Just because a person has perversed a word doesn't make it mean that the word and the whole actions of it is bad. So I
Connotation.
say I say all that to say this. It's like we have to start framing these things, not what and I'm not attacking young lady over here. I'm just saying when she asks what does submission look like, it's like we shouldn't even have to ask that because
Why, thank you for calling me a young lady.
of course. We shouldn't even have to ask what submission is because the word is the word. There is no my truth, my this. No, this is what it is. We've have as a society decided what these words mean. So when a person says submit, you should already know what it means. You understand what I'm saying? It shouldn't be just about perception. No, it should be about what the facts are. And
Big
that's where
brother.
we all mess up at. We all got different versions of loyalty, truth, whatever, whatever, whatever. We all got our own version of it. No, it's not. It's not our own version. It's either what it is. If a person stabbed you in the back and they was your friend, that's betrayal. There is no nah. But you understand. It really wasn't like that. They was saving me. They was being my doctor. What?
It's in every dictionary. The word
You understand?
betrayal is in every
You
dictionary.
understand what I'm saying? And I'm gonna land my plane with that. Let's start having things mean exactly what they mean, so we understand that.
Respectfully, I like that. I like the part you
And
said. Everybody
all I was
submits to
trying to
something.
do, all I was trying to do is make her just respect the word submission to, right? That's it.
Shit.
Sig, cool. Billy, still in the Billy.
Yeah, I'm here.
What you said?
What's your thoughts on submission? What submission look like to you?
Groveling at the feet of someone, begging for mercy when you feel like you have no other fight inside of you,
Is that
living
submit
down
or
your sin.
would you call that submit or surrender?
Or slavery.
Oh, my fault, my fault. Y'all talk about
Mm.
it as far as a relationship. I thought
Yeah.
you was talking
Who's that
about how I
slave to?
like to beat dudes into submission. My fault.
No, not MMA. Talk about
My
not the
fault.
No,
MMA
not
fighter.
not
Yeah.
My bad.
not street, not street boxing, not backyard boxing, bro.
There we
Not
go
street
again.
boxing.
This brain of mine acting up.
No,
Get
no,
it
no, no.
together. Here we
You talk
go.
about
Now we
you
need
talk
to
about
do UFC. We're talking about relationships.
relationships, bro. We talk about relationships, bro.
Uh, shit. Submission to me looks like submission to me looks like admittance. And I feel like both people have to, in a relationship, both people have to submit at one point in time. And what I mean by that is like, if my partner is good in math and I'm not that good in math, then I would let her do the math. That's me submitted to the fact that she's better in that area than I am. Um, even if any scale that you put it on, that's what it looks like to me. Like surrender to win. You feel me? A lot of us fight for false ideologies and things of that nature. And I know like the man is supposed to be the leader of the household, but if the man is not good at leading, then he needs to take a step back and let the woman lead. And then he has to play his position as well. That's what submittance look like to me. Surrendering to win. Whatever the goal is for your household, and whoever has the surefire plan to make it to that goal, that is the person that should lead. But that doesn't mean that the other party is not important. um I could bring, like, I'm not good at paperwork, and I refuse to be like even learn to be good at paperwork. At first I did try, like, oh, I'm gonna do all the paperwork, I'm gonna do all of this type of stuff like that, just to say that I can do it, and I end up messing a lot of stuff up. So I had to surrender to the fact, or submit to the fact, that I am not good in that area. That's what submitting looks like to me. And that's what it means to follow to me. A leader has to see the faults and flaws and pros and cons in every situation and every being within the household, in the ship, as Dirt said, in the ship. A leader is to point out the roles. Okay, you do this. Like when you tell somebody, yo, sit back. My Uncle Kitty used to say that, you grab the tail and let me fuck the cat type shit. No, you do this. You worry about doing that. And I'm gonna worry about doing this. That's how a leader leads. He don't just say, okay, sit down, shut the fuck up, and watch me work and put it all on his back. That's not leading. That's an
Respect.
egotistical, prideful mind state. Boom. we are trying to get here. We both have said that this is where we are trying to get. This is how we are going to get here. We need to do this, this, and this. I'm going to tackle these things. You tackle that thing over there, right? And we're going to try this out for a certain amount of time. And then if it doesn't work, then we're going to switch it back up and come back to the drawing board. And then submitting is saying, okay, we're going to try it that way. Where else can I help at? That is the submitting. Instead of arguing and putting up a fight. Oh, I don't want to do it that way. That's no, we don't need that. But it has to be on both sides. Submitting and compromising is a good relationship. And I'm not saying
Definitely.
don't debate or um, spitfire ideas. Is a difference between an argument and there's a difference between an argument and spitfiring ideas. If we're at the drawing board and you're saying you have an issue with something I'm saying that
You can
needs to
talk to
be
me.
done,
Hey, bro, can I ask you a quick question? Where's the fireboard? Are you explaining that right now, or is there a different definition for like the fireboard? It's like you
the
saying
fireboard,
like
I said spitfire,
spitfire,
spitballing.
respectfully. Yeah.
I'm
Okay,
just talking
so
about giving out ideas. We could go
okay,
back and forth
respectfully.
on
Yeah,
ideas,
yeah,
but
yeah, 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 yeah.
once we come to the solution for the problem, then we all need to work accordingly.
I
If
got you.
if I'm rowing one way and then you're rowing another way, you're being defiant. You're not being submissive. You're
Thank you.
fuck with
And
that.
that's
Fuck
what I
what you're
was trying
talking
to
about.
get
And I'm
to,
gonna do it my
bro.
way anyway. And I land with that.
Now, look, real quick question, bro. I agree with you. So I'm just quickly asking, ain't we more safer because we look at the situation instead of y'all going into the situation that I agree with you on 50-50, and we kind of see this ain't right, but you're so hell bent on making it right, like this gonna work.
I literally said
So
if it doesn't work, then we all need to go back to the drawing board and come up with a better solution. And if they can't, and if they don't want to adjust to the solution, then they're being defiant and they're
so
not being
okay, yeah,
submissive.
yes,
Yeah,
thank you,
yeah, I literally just said that
respectfully.
before you even
Now I
asked
just
the
want
question. Yeah,
no, I got you, but I just want to make that scenario, but you came up with the same answer.
yeah,
I got you,
yeah.
respectful.
Defiance and submissive.
Yeah, yes,
Purposely being defiant. I wanted to do it my way, so now I'm going to roll this way. Now I'm rolling a different way. Now we're stuck in the middle, and we're not. It's no progression. So I'm
you
landing
see the
with that.
difference. You see the difference, Mother Nature, Mother Earth.
Well, I feel like
See the
he's
difference.
saying something similar to what I was trying to say, Brother Jim. Um, and he basically, because I was saying cooperation.
Exactly.
Yeah,
Yes.
yeah, so it's like, okay, I give you, like my friend, she had these two chihuahuas, for
He
instance.
also says submissive too.
And brother, can I finish my thought?
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am. But
Thank
you're
you.
not
I
gonna let go
appreciate
of
that.
that.
And their names were Bonnie and Clyde. God rest their little souls. And so
At least they
inside,
went to heaven.
they're in doggy heaven now. And so when they were inside, Bonnie was the one who was the aggressive one. She was the one who barked the most while they were indoors. And Clyde would kind of fall back. And then when she would take him for walks, Clyde would step up. He was the more protective one. And it was interesting to observe. And so I kind of see it similar to like when a man is at home, he wants peace. And so, in the environment, maybe the wife or the feminine part of the relationship steps up, and take control of creating the environment in that regard. She takes the lead in that area. And then in the other aspects, she has to know when it's time to submit and fall back so that he can take the lead when it's really the most important time. And so that's basically what I was saying, Brother Jim. And
Yes, ma'am.
it's more of a cooperative. healthy environment, you know, because like in the what's that movie she said, a man may be the head, but I am the neck, you know, and I can turn that head anywhere I want to. And so there's power in that. And I think that what I've learned in my experience is what a man wants more than anything is peace. So yeah, so I think when what I'm interpreting, and please correct me if I'm wrong, that when a man is asking, and I know submit gets women that get our egos all flared up, and rightfully so, because it's not a pleasant word, but so it's like, I
I
want you
know.
to submit. It's like
Yeah,
sit
I
dog,
know.
sit, sit down, submit, and
And
that's
that's
kind of
crazy.
how.
You will use that analogy for that.
Yeah,
We got no win. We're not
yeah,
treating you like dogs. We're respecting you by us doing what we naturally born to do, is protect, provide, and love.
yes, and
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 you
and
not
and you want
doing
to
it.
be appreciated, right?
Not appreciate it, be submissive.
You mean sexually?
Huh?
No, I mean,
Huh?
wow, man, I can't get it right. Well, I know I said it right, man. Come
No,
You
on,
I'm
man.
only
said that.
I'm
You
only
keep
teasing
changing
you,
it. You keep
President.
changing the goalposts. You
I
keep
mean, I mean in all
throwing it
ways. Just
off,
to say
bro.
that. Just I mean in all ways. If you submissive, you submissive. Don't, because I've been with a girl who was just submissive, sexually, but on a regular day to day basis, the submission wasn't being shown.
Mm,
So I feel like I think that all are adequate. I need full submission opposed to just when we're doing it. I need it at that moment, and then at other moments too. My bad to cut you off. I was
no,
just say
no,
that.
it's the interesting thing though, and is the fascinating thing is that if you know how to make help a woman, let me say that, to reach orgasm, like serious orgasm,
My God.
Facts.
My
you're gonna
God.
get a woman
It
who's more
is
willing.
crazy. And that's extra work. Now we gotta do get you up. What the fuck is going on, man? All
If you
that to
do,
get you.
that's real, that's the truth though. If you really know how
Now,
to get
respectfully,
her,
I get it. I get it.
if you really know how to help her reach that peak, and where she's like,
That
you know,
climax, right? Like yeah, I got you.
and she's
Respectfully.
she's gonna be like, honey, what do you want? What kind
Okay,
of
now watch this.
breakfast would you like,
If you
honey?
get that,
What kind
watch
of
this.
dinner
Then
would you
look,
like,
look, look.
honey?
Then you get that. Look, then you get that. Look, then you get that. Can you submit now?
I it'll actually happen organically. She'll be so happy, she's
See?
like,
See how the
you know.
conversation changed?
That
The
goes back to
conversation
what
changed.
Mo just said. That's the same as just submitting sexually. But when it's time to go outside, it wears off.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Submission is about putting your pride aside and submitting to win, surrendering to win at all times.
Now, do all of you here know? I had a like, do you know when a woman is faking it and when she's really having the big O?
I wouldn't know
Yeah,
the difference between the fake.
I
I
don't. I
guess so.
don't know. I wouldn't be able to tell during, but I could tell by how many times she calls my phone after we part ways.
What is the big O? What what is the big O?
Even that can lead. Even that can lead. When you think about it, because
nah,
she could just be obsessive, so that might not even be the
Yeah.
genuine
All right.
thing.
Whatever you
nah,
say.
I ain't
Yeah, you
I'm
know.
got to
happy
make
for
sure
you.
They
you
call
turn
me
out the
back,
right
bro.
woman. You
Yeah,
turn
they
Yeah.
out the
call me
wrong
back,
woman, you're
bro.
gonna have a stalker. You
Yeah.
know.
That's my word. They call me back. They call me back.
Two plus
And
two.
Mo, listen, Mo. Big girls call me back. Shout out to you, my nigga. Big girls call
Okay.
me back. Yeah, I
Okay.
was doing something.
Listen, I'm gonna keep it 100. I ain't never seen a dog person obsess over a cat.
Okay.
So even if she is being possessive, it's something. It's something there.
I'm just saying. You never know. I get you though. I respect it. I ain't mad at you.
is
Man,
you know. There's a lot of parts of spiritual awakenings as well too.
Yeah,
Orgasms, whatever you want to call it,
Mhm.
mentally, emotionally, physically. So
psychologically, yes.
yeah. So yeah, well, one of all of them things could have happened. It didn't have to be a sexual orgasm, but yeah, you usually can tell by how many times they call your phone after you know what I mean?
But I'm talking about during the
Or
actual act.
it could be just
If
having
when a
it could
woman
be
is
just having that right conversation, man.
one way to discern if a woman's really having an orgasm is the vagina actually changes itself. It turns into a suction cup. It actually starts to suck.
Okay.
Got one of them.
Okay,
I got
so
many,
the
What
I
if
got
she's
vagina
many
good
of
at
actually
that.
Kegel? What
starts.
if she's
Yeah,
just good at
I
Kegels?
got many of
That's what I
that.
was about to say. That sounds like Kegel work to me.
No, no, this actually happens on its own. It starts. The
No, I
vagina
know.
starts
This,
I'm
to.
just
This
saying,
is
but how would
this is
me?
contractual. This is contractual, actual, factual.
How would
I'm
I know
saying
it's real if she's just good at Kegel? I wouldn't know the difference because I would just know. All right, this is working. The Kegels is working.
You, if you'll know. I mean, literally, it's like a suction cup. It changes into a suction. It
You ever
goes.
seen a pit bull lock on another pit bull?
Oh my god.
Listen, I got a
I feel
couple
what
of
you're
them,
saying,
man.
Dirk.
I got a
I feel what
couple
you're
of
saying.
them, man.
Thank you.
I got a couple of them.
You know, you get the big O out of
Got
her.
a couple of them.
And it's not just about submitting sexually. It's orgasm.
Nah,
Orgasm makes you feel happy. You
So
know,
let me this is
it's
my
called
bad.
Is
submit
you
because
furred?
I reached the pinnacle.
Is you furred?
So let me just say
Yeah,
this then.
it's called
So
submit.
would you say you've always submitted for everybody who made you feel a big O, or is it somebody who made you feel a big O that you didn't submit for?
I now I tend to be
Defiant.
no,
Yep,
no.
yep. That's where she was going. That's where she was going.
No,
In
not
the
at all.
in the organic world,
Okay, not
Yes, you
defiant,
forget
not
I'm a Scorpio,
defiant,
so everything is sexual for
rebellious.
me.
Yeah.
You know, so you know, I all everything. I just like I love sexual intimacy. So
Mm.
like even like fixing dinner for my man is sexual for me. So especially when he takes that bite and he go, I'm already turned on. So so that's like sexual. That's like there's something I get pleasure out of that. And so you add good sex into the mix in which he is, if he's making love to me in the right way and I'm climaxing and I'm reaching those heights, then it works for in the experience of submitting in the act as well as outside of the bedroom.
No offense, you have it. You didn't answer my question though.
I'm sorry.
Is there anybody who made you feel a big O that you did not submit for?
Yes. Yes. And that was because he didn't deserve it. Yes.
So that's kind of contradictory of what you said
No,
before, where you
it's
said,
not that I
hello,
wasn't willing.
hello,
I wasn't. It's not that I
hello.
wasn't willing.
I
Okay,
understand. I
that's not.
understand
That's the
exactly
thing.
what she mean.
I
If a
I
get
nigga
wasn't.
what
can't
she's
lead, a
saying,
nigga. If a nigga
but
can't lead, he can't lead. I don't care how many orgasms he busts. An idiot
Yes,
is an idiot.
yes, and not that I wasn't willing. It was like once I saw a different side of him, I realized I had to exercise wisdom. You know,
Okay.
you know, and recognize. Okay, I would love to be that for this man. You know, but I realized there
It's
was
a
something
bad
else
choice.
going on. You know, you've abandoned me. Love don't live here anymore.
mm,
Respectfully. Let's
Facts.
pay some bills right quick, like bathroom break, water break, all that good stuff.
Where you wanna be in your heart, we call that heart to heart. Mind game.
You are his Supreme Clan favorite. You are talking to Vanessa.
Betty Malcolm, I could be your rider. If you're the cannon, I could be Mariah.
Come in here and get a fresh haircut.
If you be the water, I can be the fire. Mama Gaia, and you could be Messiah. Mind games, mind
In
games.
other words, leave that in here. This is the person that you came in.
Mind games, mind games, mind games. You try to put crazy thoughts in my head.
Look for something to eat and you want something with just a little bit more flavor? Go to Ivory's Flavor Jamaican Food. It's located at 417 Georgetown Street, number 130, Lexington, Kentucky. Get you some food with some flavor, man. Get you some of that Ivory flavor. Tell them 34 and a half sent you.
Yo, how y'all feeling? How y'all feeling?
I woke up, bro. Always.
Everybody good?
Awesome. Love it.
Yes, yes. We lost someone.
Probably coming back. Probably still bathroom break, whatever.
I know that after the next takeoff, I'll have to say good night to your wonderful, wonderful gentleman.
No problem, no problem.
Well, say it now so we ain't hurt later.
Okay, I will say good night. I thought I would wait for one more question, then I'll say good night.
Nah, you can stay. Just say it now so when you leave, we ain't sad.
Oh, okay, good. Okay, after the next question, gentlemen, I'm going to say good night. I will.
Yeah, well,
I'll say.
damn. Ain't nobody kicking you away. We like your input.
I'll have to say good night, gentlemen, after the next question. And I just want to say I appreciate every one of you.
Thank you.
Yeah,
Likewise.
you know I love you.
Yeah, I really appreciate that love, and you know I love you too.
Love is love, love is love. This one, someone saw love fade over time. Does that create a fear of long relationships?
Can you say that one more time, please?
Someone who saw love fade over time. Does that create fear of long relationships?
Someone who what?
Saw love fade over time.
That goes
Yeah.
that's for me, that's a perception thing.
Not
You know,
necessarily. Yeah.
that's a perception thing because I could sit here and say, oh, because it ended, you know, it was bad, but then I could look at it and be like, because it ended, it faded, yeah, cool, but it was a good run.
Hmm.
Like sometimes, and I always go back to this, a lot of people just don't accept it for what it is at the moment. You understand what I'm saying?
Yeah.
People always sitting here wanting things to get better and better and better. How about you just accept that today we had fun? you
Hmm.
know, like we got on the Ferris wheel today. We rode go karts. We had fun. Let's just accept that. Like a lot of times we don't accept good. Just we're always looking for more. That greed, that insatiable thirst. So like I can't say that because I could look at love and be like, yo, they had when it was good, it was good. When my stepfather died and my mother said what she said at his funeral, she said when it was good, it was good. He said we loved each other down. And I thought that was cool as hell. You understand
Respectfully.
what I'm saying? When you could sit here and be like, when you can sit here and say, we had a fucked up relationship, but we had a good relationship too. You understand what I'm saying? There were good parts of it. And I always like when people can accept certain things. Everything has a cycle. We live, we die. Everybody's happy at the birth. Everybody's crying at the death. You know what I'm saying? So it's like that's the natural progression of life. You know what I'm saying? So accept what was good in it. I land my plane there.
Respectfully.
Um, I think if love and lust are two different things. I think lust over time may fade, and but if it's real love, it gets bigger, broader, deeper, and higher.
Hmm.
And and I think that comes with the maturity of having a relationship with a higher power and growing and evolving in that, and being in love with that alignment within yourself. And if you're fortunate enough that your partner's on that same endeavor, and he's working on his frequency, I'm working on my frequency, and I'm growing more in love, because I'm in love with myself, I'm in love with the higher power. Now the lust, 'cause that means, I think is what's the brother, he's not on here now, but the last time we were talking about how there was a on social media, this couple got into a car accident, and she was in a coma, or she was like nonverbal for like 20 months. And he was showing her love, even though he couldn't like be passionate with her, other than just being present for her. And so I think over time, sometimes sickness comes into a relationship, other things come in. And so I think lust can fade over time, and people can lust can feel amazing, and it's so like burning, and it's filled with passion. And if that aspect that's why people always say, how do you keep the fire burning in your relationship over years? But that's lust. And and there are different ways you can keep the spice, but I think it shouldn't be confused with love. And that's my take, and I land on that.
Nah, yeah, respectfully, the thing, yeah, I like thing that I like you said is a lot of people are not prepared for like if illnesses arise. You feel me? Unexpected, whatever. And these are the things that are a testament of people's love for one another. You feel me? If you're gonna go that distance, if you can go through it with them, you feel me? Healing through it, stuff like that. Anybody else want to take off? Cool. I think I heard you saying something. Someone saw love fade over time. Does that create a fear of long relationships?
Nah, I agree with what Mac has said. What he totally just said. This is
Oh,
exactly.
copy, cool.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you.
So, what did that teach you, or what does that teach one about commitment?
To me, I like what she said about it. You know, it's gonna get heavier. If it's meant to be. I'm not gonna if it's something that y'all actually connected on. If it's meant to be, I think it'll just get heavier. Like I think I mean I haven't experienced this, so I don't know. Like, I'm theoretically speaking, but then I have to understand something too. It's like I have to understand when is the so-called love something else other than love, and it's just beating me down, or it's just like it's something stagnant. I have to understand when is it something that's growing. You know what I mean? Because if it's growing, then that's gonna keep my commitment. But once it's stagnant, that's when, you know what I mean. That's how I see it. When it stagnates, I don't want it anymore.
Respectfully.
I just feel like we should just be progressing. We shouldn't be on year 14 problems. We shouldn't be in year 14 with year one problems. You understand what I'm saying? So,
Respectfully, but I would say love is chaotic.
of
It's a
course,
formula. It's a formula that both of y'all are the scientists of. That y'all coming with what works for y'all.
Correct.
Deep down, love is chaotic. It is work. It's there's problems inside of it. There's a you feel me? And we
of
see
course,
from the results. So the people who stay in it long term, the commitment that they have to each other, you feel me? They sitting on the perch on the rocking chair, and you hear the things that they shouldn't be saying about each other, but they're together on that damn that on that porch in them rocking chairs. You feel me? 80 years
right?
later, that shit. But however, like I say, there's a it's yeah, love is it's a it's not a easy thing. The progression is the turmoil that y'all go through is what builds it. Because if it was just easy when y'all did face turmoil, you feel me?
Yeah,
You wouldn't really know. You would guess you would question yourself and the relationship.
yeah.
So I guess the continuance of it, resolving it, and figuring it out every time, like V said, it builds that union to where one would feel comfortable submitting to that. All right, yeah, I see as long we better now know our positions to play due to you feel me,
Yeah.
which is commitment. Y'all both still on that boat or on the plane. You feel me together, figuring that shit out through all the heartaches, through all the you feel me, whatever. So we can go to the last one. Then someone. Oh no. Oh yeah, yeah. Someone witnessed unconditional love. Does unconditional love truly exist?
Say it again.
I said, someone witnessed unconditional love. Does unconditional love truly exist?
I was getting ready to hang up, but I can't hang up on this one. We lost our host. I guess he has to come back in. Um, this is very deep. Okay, here he comes.
My bad, wrong button. Did you hear me?
Yes, unconditional
Mothers,
love.
and your mom, man.
My bad. Do you want the answer before you head out, or you out?
Yes, yes, because this is an interesting. I have loved
Parents
unconditional.
love. Our parents' love is the only unconditional love.
Um, I used to believe, and I still do. Love is love. I think if you,
She's talking. Oh, I can't hear her. Yeah.
yeah, can you hear me?
All right.
He's
Tess, can
going
you
back.
hear me?
I
He's gonna
can
come
hear
up
you.
here.
Okay, can you hear me?
I can hear
Yeah,
you.
everybody can hear you clear.
Okay,
You good? He's
okay.
gonna come back in.
It's so much better since I downloaded the app. So
It is.
Thankfully.
yes.
Thank you.
But
Thank you. Appreciate that.
what I've
You
learned
good?
about
Cool. You can hear
loving,
everybody.
Yeah.
yes.
All right.
What I believe about unconditional love, and I've been there, loving a person for who they are. And I don't have expectations from an individual, regardless of the nature or the dynamic of the friendship or relationship, other than for them to be who they are and accepting them for who they are. And but there's a dynamic of prerogative and reciprocity. So if it's my prerogative to love you and love you not just in a way that I think, but to discover how you need to be loved and love you like that. To me, that's love.
Yeah.
And but the interesting thing about loving unconditionally is there's the reciprocity is up to the other individual. It's their prerogative to give reciprocity. And if there is no reciprocity, then the person who's giving the love has to decide, how much love do I give? And to never, just like when you play the stock market, you never give more than what you can afford to lose. And so and when it comes to unconditional love today, for me, is I'm learning to love myself more unconditionally than others. I still love without expectation, but if there's no respect there, or I'm being disrespected, or my love is not being valued, then I make the choice, okay, and say, okay, I'm not being valued here. And that, then why doesn't mean I don't love you, but it just means I love myself more. And I land the plane on that.
Respectful. Jump out the window, gentlemen. Does unconditional love truly exist?
Yeah, like Coach said, from your parents, children. You
Yeah, I got it from my parents.
know, after that, I don't know.
It's a fact. Me either.
I don't really know. Like I
I
can't
haven't seen it. I haven't seen it after that yet.
word like hey, that it's unfounded. There's no
Yeah, you're
evidence
right.
of it. If anybody got evidence on it, let me know. You know, it's like we say we love our exes and all of that. We be chatting shit. How it's like, yeah, it might be one ex. We ain't just gonna be motherfucking picking out sick flowers and bailing them out for cars and all your exes and shit. All types of weird shit. It's just not gonna happen.
Copy. Yeah, niggas is patched up, but we see we see the scars. We see the
Yeah.
war wounds. You feel me? Type shit. We know we remember the war wounds. We know where that shit, why that shit happened. Or you feel me? I mean, yeah, yeah, I agree with you, brothers. Definitely seen it from my parents, aunties, uncles, grandmas, grandpas. But after that, you feel me?
Yeah.
Outside our circle, outside y'all, you feel me? Is
Yeah.
really, you feel me? So I could say, yeah, we showcase it. We've done it. But then we would, it's not so much because we ain't got access to the whole world. I had, you feel me? My circle, I have access to who I have access to. You feel me? And
Of course.
it does. We've had unconditional love throughout it. You did. There has been no terms of why we've done what we did throughout the years while we do it. You did.
Yeah.
So I would say, yeah, it does truly exist. Get you a circle. You feel me?
Uh,
If you don't have one, get you around one that you feel me, that you could. It'll eventually grow into that if y'all committed. If you a stand up person too, you feel me? We all been stand up. We all
yeah.
have, you know.
Yeah. Like
I know I'm 100. I know for a fact I'm 100,
Respectful.
and I don't even know what that means. Like I know the Black Star Dictionary of what 100 means. I'm him. I'm loyal to my brother, bro, and you know what that means. I'm loyal, bro.
you're sturdy.
Last question, fellas. What moment defined love for you growing up?
But I first got some duties.
Yeah, I love this. This is love right here. This is what love feel like. Love this shit.
Bruh.
It's amazing.
You playing and just say, man, that's love, bro.
Oh no, copy to circle back low key over the last one when it was said fade over time. Another thing is what would test the love is if a partner has like a sickness, something just hypothetically cancer, stage 1 or 2 type shit. For y'all to go through that I mean, you feel me, not able to sexually be sexual with your partner, but having to still, you feel me, be there and do what you have to do versus
If
whatever,
we if we live if we live if
the
we live
treatment is.
if we live far apart and that happened, I'm pretty much sure that he would do it for me, so I'm gonna do it for him. I'm gonna go and be supportive.
Respectfully, yeah, these are
That
the things
that
that
shows
matter.
that's loyalty, man. That's you my brother, man. Like before this ever happened, we've been through some shit. You saved my life, relationship, you know what I mean? All that. I did it for you too.
Oh yeah, respectfully, it goes to
I'm going.
certain things
If
to
I live
where
in a different state, I'm going to see him.
it's
If
a
I'm already
testament.
there, guess what? You my brother, my guy. You my brother.
Question was, what moment defined love for you growing up? Last thoughts, jumping out the window.
I can't say it was a moment. I gotta say it was overall different experiences.
Okay,
I say
interesting.
that,
Want to share one?
and just kitchen. When you
She
ask
said,
moms to make your favorite dinner, she makes your favorite dinner and shit. You know what I'm saying? Yo, let me
mm-hmm.
get those kicks. She got those kicks and shit. Shit like different
Respectfully, yeah,
moments.
yeah,
Different moments.
Yeah, yeah, shit like that, of course.
yeah. It made me think. Respectfully,
Of course. That goes, that goes with saying,
yeah. One of my moments was my mom. She, like I said, she always did. She was the planner, the organizer. You feel me? So she always tried to do things based around events, around people getting together. You feel me? So she felt, yeah, she always made it possible to. I'm always around people. You feel me? Always, always going somewhere, always traveling, always doing something. So that resonates today to where, like I say, I live with the moment. Final thoughts, fellas.
good.
Well, that's gonna bring us to the end of this flight. You know what it is. I appreciate y'all, man. Riding with me, flying with me. It was a good one.
Yeah,
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Is this nigga Dirt coming back? Nigga went
you
lay down.
know that nigga laid down.
HSA, you already know tomorrow at 8. Tap in. I was gonna have my guy give you a little preview of the topic tomorrow. But definitely tap in, beat us there, don't meet us there. You already share, like, share, subscribe, sub, hype me up. You only get 3 hypes. Anybody? You feel me? Tap in, definitely hype me up. Comment who was the best pilot, who landed their plane the best. I'm gonna say all of y'all. All of y'all do your thing tonight, man. All of y'all get your wings, man.
One,
You
got
feel me?
one,
You feel me? Everybody
got
on the game.
one. I
Everybody
know I
got their
got like
wings.
3 of them, and that's what's up. I got 3 of them.
This is a good one. Respectfully. All right, I'm gonna pay some bills. I'll meet y'all fellas backstage. And we gonna do that like that. This book is dangerous.
not because it tells you what to think, but because it shows you who's been thinking for you. It exposes the illusion, the script, the invisible leash. After Cosmiscuous, you won't hear music the same. You won't see mirrors the same. You won't even see yourself the same. Warning. Side effects include awareness, freedom, and irreversible growth. Cosmiscuous. Read at your own awakening.
From the mind of Robert Trouble Johnson, a storyteller from Poughkeepsie, New York, with over 10 novels. But in Poughkeepsie, peace is just a pause before the storm. Raven was an invisible housewife, living a quiet life. Until one night, the truth kicked her door in. Because when survival calls, you don't stay soft, you evolve. The God Lady, where innocent dies and power is born. She was a housewife until the streets gave her a crown.
This is BK.
Mike Payne.
Carly.
34 and a half. Hot boy Shay. Tyrell. And I play Tyrell.
And Monica.
Jay.
Asu.
Mo. Big Prince in that series Make Some Noise.
You gon' hear me now, feel me now. I'm 10 toes, no small talk, straight to the pen.
Throughout the season, you see him going through where in the beginning he wanted to just do his music and work a regular 9 to 5, but as things continue to happen to him, he has to respond to the environments that he gets put in.
Whoa. Damn. Nah, fucked up, cuz. Yo, my bad, bro. Where the fuck was you at anyway? I was trying to get a little bottle or something, type of weapon that even the odds, it was more than us.
A lot of people called me and was like, when they see me, I like to say I retreated, which is something people do in war all the time. They retreat to, regroup. Another word I like to use when I think about that scene. People thought I was like, punani.
Nigga, you must not know who the fuck I am, nigga. This my city. Y'all beat his ass. Get up, bitch ass. You ain't talking niggas. Yeah. We outside.
I had people say, you just being you. I ain't gonna lie. I ain't no bully though. I ain't no bully, but yeah, don't take me there, bro. But other than that, yeah, just I'm that nigga, and I definitely feel like I'm that nigga. You supposed to feel like that, you feel me? Yeah.
Damn, she fine as hell. What the fuck you doing with this bum ass nigga? Come on, what come to my section?
Nigga, I wouldn't give you the time of day if you paid for it. She's a good person at heart. I just think she's in the wrong career.
Tapping with my guy, make some noise. I'm so Tyrell. You already know, 8 episodes, fire. Tap it in, man. Appreciate all my co-pilots, man. It was a pleasure. It was an honor, man. Definitely. But tonight hit different because a lot of what we call our way of loving didn't actually start with us. It started in the rooms we grew up in. Conversations we overheard, the silence we felt, the tensions we learned to ignore, the TVs we watched. Some people learned love was loud. Some learned it was quiet. Some learned love meant staying no matter what. And some learned love before you get hurt. And then we grow up and bring all of that into relationships without even realizing it. So when someone says that's just how I am, sometimes that's not who they are. What you were shown, but here's the powerful part. Just because you learn it doesn't mean you have to keep living it. You can unlearn patterns. You can choose differently. You can build something healthier than what you saw. So tonight's real question isn't just what did you grow up watching? Are you aware enough to decide what you keep and what you leave behind? Because love isn't just inherited, it's also created. Until the next time, pay attention to your patterns, your questions, and what feels normal. And don't let your past fly your future. Good night.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to your destination. Please remain seated until you have properly processed. Keep your mind clear until next time.
Land your plane, land your plane, land your plane.